Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as per your time zone. Let's begin today's session in which we are going to talk about job automation, or can call it cron jobs. Job automation is a technique via which we can make a thing to work on its own without the intervention of a user. For instance, sometimes you want a job to be started at midnight 3 a.m. So I would not be sitting over there to start it. What I'll do is I'll fix a schedule. So on that schedule, that particular time, that particular hour, that particular moment, the job will start on its own. So scheduling something to run on its own at a particular time is all about job automation, and that can be done by using a daemon or a service called Cron. Cron is a service which is responsible to run a particular task on hourly basis, daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. So anytime you want to repeat a task every day, or you can repeat a task weekly, monthly, hourly, or even minutely, like every 5 minutes you would like to repeat a task, even that is possible by a cron job to set a job in that manner. In cron job, the thing that is important is to understand this format. According to this format, we can schedule any task, whichever task you would like to schedule. The first field in cron tab, what we need to set is minutes, and you can mention minutes between 0 to 59. The second field, what you have to mention is hour, and that you have to mention between 0 to 23, 24 hours format, followed by day of month, or you can call it as date, on which date would you like to do, and that date you can mention between 1 to 31, followed by which month of the year, so you need to mention between 1 to 12, 12 months, followed by day of a week. You have to mention between 0 to 6, where 0 is for Sunday, 1 is for Monday, 2 is for Tuesday, 3 is for Wednesday, 4 is for Thursday, 5 is for Friday, 6 is for Saturday, I'm sorry. And Sunday has a special privilege. You can mention it as 0, or you can mention it as 7. So whether you write 0 or you write 7, both stands for Sunday. After that, whatever command you would like to execute, whatever script you want to execute, that script you need to give. So first you need to set a proper timing on what time, what date, what month, what day you want to schedule, and finally what would you like to schedule. So in that fashion you can schedule any task whichever you would like to do, be it taking backups or running a scripts, taking what I can say, health checkups of your systems, anything at any point of time, whatever you want to do. In fact, everything what we have seen so far can be scheduled out. You can create a volume group, logical volume, create a user, or many other tasks can be performed by scheduling using cron tab facility. So let's understand this cron job by few examples. Let me take help of Notepad, where I can explain you better. So keeping that format in your mind, we are going to work with this cron job facility. So assume that on a particular date, like on 29th April or 30th April, let's take tomorrow's date. On 30th April, at 2:30 p.m. I want to reboot my machine. So this is the task what I need to schedule in order to reboot my machine. And the format is just below it. You need to follow that format. So I'm going to start like this. The first thing what I need to mention is minutes, and I have to mention the minutes 30 minutes. Past how many hours? So I want to go for 2:30 p.m. So in 24 hours it would be 14 hours. 30 minutes past 14 hours. On which date? The third field what I have to mention is date or day of the month. So between 1st to 31st. So I would like to mention like on 30th. 30th of what? Then you have to mention month. Which month? I'd like to do it on April. So I'll go with 4. So I'm telling that 30 minutes past 14 hours on 30th April. That is going to be Sunday. So either I can mention 0 or I can mention 7. Both is possible. I would like to reboot my machine, and the command to reboot is reboot. Generally we don't do like that, but just an example I'm trying to show you. We'll never reboot a machine using scheduling or something like that. So I'm just showing an example that something you can do XYZ like reboot. So this is how you can schedule a task. Now guys, in this there can be a chance that you may do something wrong and your job may fail out. For instance, on 30th April, instead of Sunday, if I mention Saturday, then obviously on 30th April it is not Saturday, it is Sunday, so it is going to fail out. It will say that this job is not scheduled properly, it contains errors and it is going to fail out. So mostly what we will do to avoid these kinds of problem, whenever we are specific about date, like 30th April, specifically 30th April, then instead of mentioning a proper day, we'll give it star field. Star means any possible value. On 30th April, it can be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever is proper, take it. So whenever you are mentioning date, better to skip day. And let's say when you are very specific about day, like every Saturday you want to do a task. So in that scenario, what we will do, instead of mentioning date, what I'll do, I'll say it can be any date, but it should be on Saturday. So it can be 30th or any previous dates, whatever it might be. So every Saturday of April, it will try to get executed. So like that, you can use that wildcard, that is star asterisk, to give any possible value. So whenever you are specific about date, like in our case 30th April, better to skip it. You can give a perfect value 7 or 0, or else simply give asterisk, it will take automatically the proper date. So like that you can schedule any task whichever you would like to do. Let's say uh, I have one more task over here. For instance, on 1st May at 11:30 a.m. I'd like to create one directory in OPT with the name called Cron. So I'd like to schedule a task where on 1st May at 11:30 a.m. this directory should get created. So let's schedule it. First field minutes, so I'll say 30 minutes past 11 hours. Because I'm going for 24 hours format. In 24 hours format, 11 a.m. is 11. If it is p.m., then I could have gone for 23. On 1st May, it can be any possible day. I don't want to mention the day. Monday, Tuesday, whatever it might be. What I want to do is I'd like to create a directory in OPT with the name called cron. As you see below also it is mentioned absolute path. So you need to give exact path where would you like to create. Simply opt cron is not going to work. You need to give the proper path, that slash opt, and you have to create a directory cron. Now this job can also get failed if already there is a cron directory available in opt. So if there is no directory, it will definitely create it. If it is already there, then obviously the command may fail out saying that the directory already exists. Anyhow, so like that, you can schedule a task to create a directory also. Now let's move ahead and let's try to see a bit more advanced concepts. For example, I have a monitoring script, and what I want to do is I would like to run this script on three particular dates, guys. For example, I want to run the script on 1st and 3rd and 5th of May, and I'd like to run it. So question coming in, how can the system alert you if the job fails? System will not alert you. You have to check the logs and you need to find out whether the job is successful or not. If you have a monitoring tool installed, monitoring tool can update you saying that the so and so event occur. So I'll show you in practical how to check logs. So guys, on 1st, 3rd and 5th May, what I want to do is I'd like to run the script. At what time? I want this to be at mm, 3 a.m. For example. I want to run the script and the script is kept in slash directory with the name mon.sh. So how to schedule it? To schedule it, first we need to mention minutes. Minutes are 0 minutes. That means exactly at 3 a.m. I want this to be done. As we are talking about AM, I need to mention 3. That means 0 minutes past 3 a.m. on how many dates? Now over here I have 3 dates, 1, 3 or 5, and 5, I'm sorry. So when I have 3 dates, I'm not going to create 3 uh, jobs one after the other. So when you are mentioning multiple dates, you can use commas as a separator to mention 3 dates. I want it on 1st, comma 3rd, comma 5th of May. Sorry, May I'll be mentioning as 5th. So I want this job to be run on these 3 days, 1st, 3rd, 5th of May. And on these 3 days, obviously there can be any possible day. I cannot mention a specific days over here. It is going to fail out then. So in this scenario, the best thing is to give asterisk so that it can take automatic proper date according to day, according to date. What I want to do is I would like to run a script. Guys, to run a script, you can simply give the exact path of the script like mon, sorry, slash mon.sh, or you can run a command also like shmon.sh. Whenever you want to run a script, simply by giving the path of the script, it will get executed, or there is a command also sh. So either you can give shmon.sh or simply give the path of the script. Both is going to work absolutely fine. So like that, I have to mention 3 dates over here. Now let's see one more thing over here. Assuming guys, I have a continuous date. Like I want the script mon.sh to be running from 1 to 10th May at 3:15 a.m. Let's say I'm changing the time a bit, and the script remains the same. Like, let's say mon2.sh, this time second monitoring thing. So how to schedule it? To schedule it, the first thing I need to mention is minutes. So I'll give 15 minutes past 3 a.m. Now here I need to mention 10 dates continuously from 1 to 10. So one way is you can write 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10, but that would make a bit lengthy. So instead of mentioning in commas, I can simply declare the range using hyphens. You can say start from 1, go up to 10th. Of what? Of May. And on these days, there can be any particular day. On these dates, any particular day it could be. What I would like to do, I'd like to execute the script. What is the location? mon2.sh. So like that, guys, you can mention if there are 2-3 dates, you can mention by commas, different dates, or if it is a range, then you need to use that hyphens. So is that understood, guys? Are you able to follow the concepts, whatever I'm trying to tell? I need a small confirmation, guys. Are you able to understand? Okay, thank you for confirmation. Question coming over here from Garima. Garima says that what if we have to mention two ranges? An excellent question. That was the absolute next thing what I was trying to say. See, guys, assume that we are following the same pattern, but there is a small change. I have two ranges now. Let's say I want to run the script. There is some script. I want to run that script, and I want to run it on from 1st to 10th, and then I have another range also, 15 to 25th of May. And this time, let's say I want to execute it at 4:30 p.m. and the script name is mon3.sh. Guys, I'm using this name from my choice. It can be any name, any script. So how to mention this, guys? Very simple, guys. I hope already you know the answer. Let's check out. I want to give 30 minutes past 4 p.m. 4 p.m. means I need to mention 16 hours. So 16 hours, 30 minutes past 16 hours, and here I'm having two different dates. What is that two different ranges? The first range is 1st to 10th, comma. Second range is 15th to 25th of May, and on these dates it can be any possible day. What I want to do is I want to run mon3.sh. So like that, guys, you can use this commas, hyphens in any field. It can be minutes field, it can be hours field, it can be month field, it can be date field or day field. Any field you can use this asterisk, comma, hyphen, and you can make your work done properly. So is that understood, guys? Are you able to follow this concept? Kindly confirm, guys. I need a confirmation from all. Are you able to understand or not? So only two confirmations so far. Garima and Francis. Others, guys, if you are listening, kindly confirm, is that okay? Are you able to understand the concept? Because next I want to give a small task where I need a solution from you guys. Okay, seems that people are not listening. No problem. Let me continue. So the next thing is, guys, assume that I'd like to take backup. So there is a backup script which I want to execute. The task comes like this, that I want to run the backup script which is kept in slash bkp.sh every Saturday midnight 12 a.m. So assume, guys, you have received a ticket like this where I want to run the backup script every Saturday midnight 12 a.m. So every Saturday, maybe at night, I would like to collect the backup. How I'm going to schedule it? Guys, I'll say first of all 12 a.m. means 0 minutes. Past 12 a.m. means 0 hours. So 0 minutes past 0 hours. On what particular date? There is no specific date. So I'll give asterisk. It can be any possible date. And I want to run this every Saturday. I'm not concerned about any month. So still I'm going to give asterisk. So I'm telling over here that run this particular thing at 0 minutes past 0 hours on any possible month, any possible date, any possible month, but it should be Saturday. So let me give 6, and what I want to do is I want to run the script bkp.sh. So guys, tell me one thing over here, that the script or that the task what I have scheduled, is it right? Is it correct? Or it is wrong? Does it have any mistake or not? If it has any mistake, can you tell me what is that mistake? I need the answers from everyone, if it is proper or not. Take your time, guys, check it out and answer me whether the task what I have scheduled is correct or not. If it is having any problem, tell me what is the problem. If it is correct, tell me that it is correct. Or if you are not able to answer, at least tell me. I'll try to answer that. Garima says seems to be okay. Okay. The hour should be 00. Francis not required. You can mention 0 or 00. Both are going to be fine. Single 0, 00, absolutely fine. There is no problem with hours. Any other thing, guys? Others? So as I've told you guys that this thing is having a mistake. What is that mistake in this particular thing? Let's try to find out. And it is a big mistake, guys. See, the ticket what you have received is something like that. Run the backup script bkp.sh every Saturday midnight 12 a.m. Guys, Saturday midnight means what? Saturday midnight is Sunday's morning, guys. So over here, the schedule what I have done, it is going to start at Friday midnight. That is early morning of Saturday. So what it is going to do, guys, it is going to take the backup one day before. Generally, I want it to be on Saturday midnight. Saturday midnight after 12 a.m. Obviously, it is going to be next day. So over here, guys, this is the mistake. Instead of Saturday, it should be Sunday, either 0 or 7. So this is the problem, guys, what we have done in this particular script. So be very careful, guys, whenever you are scheduling. Try to understand that what requirement people are asking. Whatever they are asking, according to that we need to schedule it. Now if they say Saturday midnight, that does not mean that it is going to be exactly on Saturday, because as night turns out 12, then the day would be changing and it has to be early morning of 7. So like that, guys, what we have to do, we need to find out and we need to schedule a task properly in this fashion. I hope, guys, it is understood, all of you. Okay, great. One more question coming in from Garima. Okay, I thought OS, but shouldn't it be 5? I didn't understood your question, Francis. If you could elaborate, please. I'll try to answer that. See, why 7 means Saturday midnight or the night of Saturday is the early morning of Sunday. The night of the Saturday or the midnight of the Saturday. See, we can't write 5. If you write 5, that means it is early morning of Saturday and midnight of Friday. Midnight of Saturday is Sunday morning. And the question from Manzoor, it can also be 0 instead of 7. Of course, you can write 0, you can write 7. Both are possible, both are perfect. Okay, there is one more question coming in from Garima, that if I want to schedule a task for every 5 minutes, how it can be? A very good question, in fact. So let me show you. See, if you want to run a task, that's what I have to show and I was supposed to show it. See guys, if you want to run a task on every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it might be, so I'm not concerned about day, I'm not concerned about date, I'm not concerned about month or what particular day it is, and even hours. Every hour, every 5 minutes, I need something to be run. Maybe in the background, I'm running some script that would be taking the information of the system or something blah blah is there I want to run, but that should be run every 5 minutes. So in that scenario, what I'm going to do, I'll say star. That means it can be any time /5. So when I say */5, it is going to repeat every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes of which hour? Every hour. Every hour, every 5 minutes, it should be run. On what particular date? There is no specific date. What particular month? There is no specific month. What particular day? There is no specific day. So now my task would be running every 5 minutes. So like that, guys, if you want to repeat a task every hour, then you can say /1. So every hour it is going to repeat the task for you. So like that, you can use star slash whatever time you want to do, and you can run any script or anything whatever you want to do. Maybe I want to run a command called, or backup only, I'm going to take something like that. So I'll say bkp2.sh something. So like that, you can run your any command whatever it might be in this fashion, guys. So these are the things, guys, what we should understand. And if you know this particular things, guys, then this is more than enough to schedule any kind of task whichever it might be. I'm going to share this notepad stuff with you so that you can try out these things if you want to try out. Now, let's try to see some practicals related to it. Before that, let's also talk about some important files related to cron, because after going into system, I'd like to show you this also. So if you see, guys, there is a main file called etc cron tab. etc cron tab is an example file, guys, that contains the format, like what is the format of cron job and how we have to store in that. There is one more file, guys, which is missing inside it. Let me just correct it for you so that you can also have a correct format. So one more file that is missing out over here, guys, let me type in. That is var spool cron and username. So here, guys, you would be having what? Something that is related to the user that would be available out over here, guys. And one more thing is there, guys. What is that? I'll tell you. The log files, where the logs are stored. So guys, the logs are stored over here in var log cron. This is the location, guys, where you have to go and you have to check out the things, guys. Like you see, etc cron tab contains your what I can say format of how to schedule things, and your jobs are stored in var spool cron and the username var spool and cron followed by username, and the log location is var log cron. I'll correct it and I'll share it with you. Guys, there are two other files also, etc cron.deny, etc cron.allow. Deny and allow are two files that is needed to deny any user not to use cron facility, and allow is to allow any user to use cron facility. The commands what we can use in cron tab is cron tab -e to edit your cron tab file if the file exists. If the file does not exist, it is going to create a new file. To display how many tasks you have scheduled, cron tab -l to list it out. To remove the cron tab file, cron tab -r. As a root, you have a power to check the files of other users, to create a task for other users. So in order to do anything for other user as a root, you can use cron tab -u, and then you have to specify the username. To list out any user's work, you can say cron tab -lu username. To edit anybody's file, cron tab -eu username. To remove anybody's file, cron tab -ru and the username. So let's log in into the machine, guys, and let's see some practicals related to cron tab. Guys, according to my system, this is the date. It's April 29th, 19 hours past 40 minutes. So assume guys, I would like to schedule a task. But before scheduling guys, let's check out is there any already existing job. So I'll run a command cron tab -l. You see there is no cron tab scheduled for root. In fact, if you go to var spool and uh, cron, you'll see there is no file. That means there is no user who has created any scheduling file. If there is any users file exist, it would be available with that username. Like if you remember in our user administration class, whenever you create a user, it would be having a home directory available or a mailbox available in var spool mail. So here also, whenever a user start using cron facility, a file will be created with that username. So far there is no file for root. That means root has never used cron facility. Not a problem. Also, you can check out this file also, that is etc cron tab. So this cron tab contains example, like how you need to schedule a job, what we can do, like it says minutes, how many minutes you can use, hours, months you can mention like this, day of week you can mention like this. Sunday is also having an exception of 0 and 7. What all we have understood, it is trying to show you the same thing. Now guys, let's say I want to schedule a task. Maybe I'd like to display a message. After 2 minutes, I want on my screen automatically one message to be displayed. Guys, to repeat something or to display something on your screen, we have a command called echo. As you see guys, the name itself is telling you. Echo means repeating something or getting something back. So when I say echo hello, it's repeating on my screen. So what I want to do is after 2 minutes, I want this echo command to get executed and it should print whatever I am typing over there. But where it should display, that is also important. Guys, I've already explained you one thing, that whenever we logged in into the system, we would be getting a different terminal numbers. You can check it out by using tty command. See guys, this is the functionality of multi-user operating system, where with same username, many people can be connected to machine, but at a time we cannot see each other's work. First user cannot see second user's work, second user cannot see first user's connect, though they have connected with the username root only. How is it happening? Because everyone who is connecting to machine will be given a different session, a different terminal. So currently, my terminal number is /dev pts0. So I am connected to pts0. You see, if I log in again with one more user or same user, root only, just check out tty. It says that you are on pts1. If one more user, pts2, pts3. So every user will be given a different terminal so that their work should not get conflicted. Now, what I want to do is I would like to display a message at 1947, 19 minutes 19 hour 47 minutes on 29th April. That can be any message. To schedule a task guys, I'll go with the command cron tab -e. So there was no file, now that file will get created. So as per my requirement, what I want to do is at 19 hours past 44 minutes past 19 hours, or 47 minutes past 19 hours, I'm sorry, I'll say 47 minutes. Guys, it is VI editor, so you have to press insert and then you need to give. 47 minutes past 19 hours on 29th April can be any possible day. I don't want to mention the day. What I want to do is I'd like to display a message by using echo command. It's a big message, so I'm going to use inverted commas. I want to say that cron is successful. But it is not enough. I just don't want to print it, but I want it to display. So I will redirect. I'll use that redirect symbol to show this output on /dev pts 0. See guys, I'm telling that 47 minutes past 19 hours on 29th April, any possible date, I want it to display a message, to print this message and display the output on PTS 0. Let me save and quit. So you see it says that installing new cron. Let me check the date guys. I still got 2-3 minutes seconds remaining. As soon as it is 1947, it should display a message. You see, as soon as the time comes, automatically the message has been displayed on my screen. Now to check whether this job is successful or not, that was the question from Francis, you can go to the bottom of log file where log cron. So over here it is going to show you that what command you have done, it got executed. What time? On 1947, 1 second. See guys, if it is having error, then it won't display this output. It will show you that errors, that what error it contained. So like that you can find out whether the job was successful or not. And if you have any monitoring tool, obviously that monitoring tool can do it and it can send you an alert that the job failed. Okay guys, also let me take you to where spool cron. You see last time there was no file. Now this file is created which contains my job. So when you say cron tab -e, it will edit the existing file. If there is no file available, then it will create a new file for you. Also guys, I would like to create a new directory or a file in OPT. Let's say I'd like to create a directory and the name of this directory should be cron in capital letters. At what time? As per my clock, it is 19 hours past 48 minutes past 19 hours. So maybe I'd like to execute it at 51 minutes past 19 hours. To schedule it, I'll go back to cron tab -e and see already this task has been executed. So either you can reuse that line or you can add a new line. It's up to you. So let's say I want to just reuse it instead of again creating all that thing. I'll simply remove that minutes. In place of that, maybe I'll give 52 minutes past 19 hours on 29th April. Can be any possible day. What I want to do is I don't want to display this message. This time I'd like to create a directory inside OPT with the name cron. Now let me save and quit. It is done. Let me check out guys. I've got lots of time left guys. Instead of 52 I want to make it 51. Can I do it? Of course. I can go to cron tab -e and again I'll change it to 51. See, this is the beauty of cron, that anytime you can re-edit it and you can change it. Now guys, I can run ls command and I can check it every time, or I can use a monitoring command called watch. With watch, when you run any command, it is going to repeat the output and it is going to show you for every 2 seconds. You see 50, then it will change to 52, then it will change to 54. So like that, every 2 seconds, it is going to show you the output of that command. See, as soon as the time has changed to 1951, you see ls command shows me that there is a new addition, cron directory. To come out of it, Control C. Watch is a monitoring command, guys. When you run watch with any command, it will repeat that command for every 2 seconds and output would be shown. Generally, guys, you can use it for viewing the log files or checking any action. Like I'm doing something and I want to see the response, how it is changing. So I can run watch command to watch that command every 2 seconds. So you see, guys, it is successful, and at my given time I am able to get this cron directory available. Similarly, guys, let's see how to run a script via cron job or scheduling. Let me create a dummy script, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use two very simple commands like echo. As we seen just now that with echo, when you type anything, it will repeat that thing. There is one more command, guys, called sleep. When you run sleep, your shell will go to sleep. It will become inactive. For example, I'll say sleep for 5 seconds. So for 5 seconds, my shell will be inactive. As soon as 5 seconds are over, it will again become active. So like that, by using these two commands, I want to make a script, guys. It's a dummy script, guys. It's not a real script, but just for explanation, I'm trying to create it. Maybe I'd like to create it in slash with the name bkp.sh. First, you have to start with a shebang statement, like in which shell you are creating the script. Guys, if you learn scripting, you'll understand more about this shebang statement. So here what happens, guys, I'm telling the script that this script has been created using bash shell. So it will help the script to understand its environment. Then I'll say echo, display the message backup is started. Then I want it to sleep for 5 seconds. Then another message, backup is in progress. Then again sleep for 5 seconds. Then the final message, backup is completed. Something like that. So what I want my script to execute 3 messages by gap of 5 seconds. Let me save and quit. So my script is ready, guys. If you look into slash directory, you can see that our file is available here, backup.sh. Let me try to execute it. I'll say bkp.sh. As I've told you, guys, you can give path of the script or you can use sh command also. But when I give path, it says that permission is denied. Guys, can anybody guess why the permission is denied over here? Hmm. Tell me, guys, anything? Francis is not sure. Okay, no problem. Anybody else would like to answer that why is it telling permission is denied? Okay, no responses. Well, no problem. What I'll do, I'll show you something over here. Okay, a good question from Francis, that root is superpower, then why? Why is it not running? An excellent question. See, if you check the file permission bkp.sh, it is having read write and read permission. Guys, if you remember our basics class file permissions, we discuss in file permission that if a file is a script, to execute that script you need execute permission. Without assigning execute permission, this particular file cannot get executed. And by default, when you create a file, it is never going to have a execute permission. So whether you are superpower or you are a normal power, this file require an execute permission in order to get executed, as it is a script. So what I'll do now, I'll apply execute permission for all. I can say chmod give execute permission to everyone. On which file? bkp.sh. Now you see this file is carrying execute permission. Let me try to execute it. I'll simply give the location again. This time the script is getting executed. Done. So this script I want to place in my scheduler in my cron. How can I do that? Let me show you. Let's find out on what time I want to do it. On same date, April 29th, I want it to be done at maybe 20 hours. Exactly at 20 hours, I would like to do this. So let me go to cron tab -e. I'll change this value. Instead of 51 minutes, I'll give 0 minutes. Past 20 hours. So I'll say 0 minutes past 20 hours on 29th April. Can be any possible date. What I want to do is I'd like to run the script. To run the script, guys, as I've told you, you can use sh command or you can directly give the location of script. Guys, as this is a dummy script, I just want to have that feeling that things is going on automatically. Generally, we don't do this activity, what I'm trying to show you. Just to see that the thing is automatically going on, I want to display the output as well on my terminal. Generally, we don't do this, guys. We'll never see the output of a script on a terminal because you never know on that particular time you may be connected or not. If connected, you would be on which terminal or not. So generally, we'll say that run the script. Okay, we'll see the result in the log file. Now let me save and quit. So you see, guys, I still have some 30 seconds left. And after the 30 seconds are over, there must be script running on my screen. Still we've got some 10 seconds remaining. Some 3 seconds now. You see the script got started and the thing has been displayed on my screen. You can check the logs as well to confirm. In any way, as you see, the output is successful, so we don't have to check the logs. Anyway, guys, so this is how you can schedule anything, guys. The only base thing is you should have those 5 fields properly inserted, then it is going to work absolutely fine without any problems. As I've told you guys that as a root you have a power to schedule a task for any user in the system. We've got lots of users guys in our user administration class. We have created number of users. I can take any user and I can schedule a task for them. For instance, I'd like to schedule a task for my user. Let me log in as my user. So as my user, I'll check whether any task has been scheduled for me or not. I'll say cron tab minus L. You see so far there is no job scheduled as my user. So as a my user, I can say cron tab minus E and I can schedule a job for self, or as a root, I always have a power to schedule a task for any user. For example, if I want to check for other user whether any job is scheduled or not, I can say cron tab hyphen L to list for a user whose name is my user. So for my user, there is no job scheduled so far. Let me schedule it. See guys, what I want to do is I want to send my user a mail. I want after 2 minutes he should receive a mail saying that um, cron is working or meeting is delayed, something like that. At what time? I want it to be at 4 minutes or 5 minutes past 20 hours. So let me schedule it. I'll go for cron tab hyphen E for a user whose name is my user. So I'd like to schedule a task at 5 minutes past 20 hours. Guys, you can simply mention 5 or you can mention 05. Both works absolutely fine. So 5 minutes past 20 hours on 29th April can be any possible date. I want this user to receive a mail. I want this message to be dropped in his mail. So I'll use again echo command. I'll say meeting is delayed for 30 minutes. See guys, with echo message, when you don't mention any redirect symbol, if you mention redirect symbol, it would be displayed on that particular scheme. If you don't mention any redirect symbol, then it is going to convert it into mail and it would get dropped into that user's mailbox. So let me save and quit. So if you see guys, still have lots of time. So as soon as the time comes to 20 hours 5 minutes, this user must receive a mail. So as of now I have time to check the mail guys. I have a command mail. So far no mail is there. So let me watch it. I'll say watch mail. Guys, as soon as the time comes to 20 minutes 20 hours 5 minutes, I should receive a mail. So far there is no mail, so it is not displaying anything. You see the counter is going on, the timer is going on over here. So as soon as it reaches to 5 minutes, it should display that I have received a mail. What happened? Why it got stuck? Let me just come out of it, Control C. Actually I got a mail, but the watch command did not show me that. Not a problem. Let me run mail command. You see, cron daemon has sent me a mail. So let me check that mail, mail number 1. To check the mail guys, we have used mail command. After coming into mailbox, I want to check mail number 1. So I'll type check mail number 1. It will give me the detail that who have sent me that mail. At the bottom, it is telling me the message what I have given. Meeting is delayed, something something. To come out of mailbox, you have to use Q. Q to quit, and you will be back to your prompt. So like that, guys, as a root you can schedule anything. That echo command was the smallest thing what I can show you, but anything as that user you can do whatever you want to do it out. Guys, assume that even this user can schedule a task for himself. He can say cron tab minus L, or he can say cron tab minus E, and modify something, create a new job, whatever it might be. Let's say, guys, this user is enjoying the privilege of cron job, and maybe the work is not going in a proper fashion. Whenever there is a task given, is scheduling a task and doing something else, but work is affected. So what I want to do is I want to take away the privilege of cron from this user. I don't want this fellow to have privilege of cron. Whatever we have done, whatever task we have given, he should do it manually. No automation should be granted. No cron facility should be given. So how to block any user not to use cron facility? So let me take back to your files, guys, over here. As we discussed, there are two files, etc cron.deny and the other one is cron.allow. So here I'm going to take help of deny, and you can edit this file only with the power of root. Normal users cannot edit this file. So I'll go to etc cron.deny. In deny, I'm going to put the username who I want to block. That is my user. Let me save and quit. Now, guys, as that user, which is my user, try to run the command cron tab minus L. It says you're not allowed. Cron tab minus E, you're not allowed. So this user has been blocked from cron facility. He will not be allowed to run any cron task. Now if I remove that name, for example, I'll delete it. Let me save and quit. Go back to user. Try out cron tab minus L, working. Cron tab minus E, working. So like that you can deny any user. Whichever user you don't want to have cron facility, you can put it into that file and all that users will be denied. Now let's say, guys, there is a situation where I don't want anybody to use cron facility. By default, I want to block everyone from cron facility. Nobody should use cron facility except 2 or 3 users. So in that scenario, deny file is not going to help me. My requirement is very big. I want all the users to be blocked from cron facility. All the users in the sense the users which are already created and the users that might come in future. Maybe I may add more users in future. So what I want to do is I want to block all of them from using cron. So in that scenario, what I have to do is I have to take help of cron.allow. So in cron.allow, if you mention any names, only those names will be allowed. The rest of all users will be denied automatically. So in that scenario, let me check it out. See, guys, by default, there is no cron.allow file, guys. If you see, there is cron.d, cron.daily, cron.deny, cron.hourly, monthly, cron tab, weekly, but there is no allow file. What you need to do out, guys, cron.allow file does not exist by default. Whenever you need it, you have to create it manually. Deny exists by default, but allow does not exist by default. You need it, you have to create it. Question coming in: why should we create it? Why it is not default? See, the reason is there, Garima, that why it is not default. The reason is, for instance, let me create a blank file. Touch in etc cron.allow. You see, there is no user mention inside it. None of the user. Right. Go back to my user. Try cron tab minus E. Not allowed. Cron tab minus L. Not allowed. Login as another user. Maybe U1. I'll give my password. Let me say cron tab minus L. Not allowed. Cron tab minus E, not allowed. So if blank cron dot allow file exists, then by default nobody will be allowed to use cron facility. That's the reason it is not created by default. Whenever we need, we have to create it manually. So if blank cron.allow exists, then no users will be allowed to run cron facility except root, because root has the power. Root is a super user, you can't block root. Let me add the user which I want to allow. For example, I'll go to vim etc cron.allow. I want to allow my user. Let me save and quit. Let me go to my user. Who am I? My user. Let me say cron tab minus L. You see, I'm able to execute it. How about one more user, U1? Let's say, who am I? U1. Let me say cron tab hyphen L. So you see, my user is allowed, U1 is not allowed. So only the members whose name is present in that file will be allowed. Rest of all users will be blocked. Now one more question, guys. Guys, I seriously need answer on this. What happens if the same name exists in deny file also and allow file also, both the files? For example, I'll go to etc cron.deny. I'll mention the username, my user. Let me save and quit. Now you see, guys, in etc cron.deny I have my user. In cron.allow also I have my user. Now guys, what do you expect to happen? Please let me know your opinion. Okay, Manzoor says deny should supersede allow. Okay, at least one answer. Garima also thinks the same way, that deny, it should get denied. Francis says conflict may occur between allow and deny. Okay, let me log in that user, guys, my user, and let me say cron tab hyphen L. So when I run cron tab minus L, it is going to allow or deny. It is going to allow, guys, because when you have allow file has higher precedence over deny. When there is an allow file exist, deny does not have any power over it, guys. Whether it is cron.allow, cron.deny, host.allow, host.deny, any allow, any deny. Allow always have higher power, guys. So even if the name exists in allow and deny, then it will allow, it is not going to deny, because already the names which is mentioned in allow is allowed, rest of the people are denied. So deny file does not have any kind of importance, guys. Did you understood the concept, guys? Great. So this is how, guys, the things would be working in our cron jobs, guys. Finally, guys, let's say I'd like to remove the cron facility. Francis says, is it because deny is an option? See, it is because when allow exists, deny will lose all its power. Whether you keep deny file, you remove deny file, you put any names in deny file, it is not going to work out, because the names what you mention in allow will only be allowed. Rest of them are automatically denied. So there is no role of deny file left when you create allow. Did you got my point, Francis? Great. So finally, guys, I'd like to remove the cron files. To remove a single job, guys, assume you have multiple cron jobs. You can go to cron tab -e. If you have multiple jobs, you can simply remove the lines and that jobs will be removed. Let's say you totally want to remove the file itself. No job, no file should be left. So one way is you can go to var spool cron and you can remove the files from here. Or you can do it with command line also, guys. The command line is cron tab -r to remove it. A very good question asked by Francis, that can you deny or allow a user for a particular period of time frame? That is not possible, but the question what you have asked is very nice. Actually, there might be something like that, but it is not available. When you put a name, it would be completely deny. Remove it, it would be completely allow. But there is no as such option to block it for a particular time frame. Okay, guys, to remove the self file. As a user, you want to remove your own file, you have to run cron tab -r. So I have logged in as root. You see that root users file will be deleted. Now if I say cron tab cron tab -l to check any file is there or not, you see there is no file. Go to var spool cron, it's gone. So either simply you can remove file rm command or use cron tab -r. Or guys, if you want to remove a file for other users, as a root you have a power to do it for other users also. So you can say cron tab -ru for a user called my user. Go to my user and say cron tab -l, the file is deleted. Check in var spool cron, it's gone. So like that, guys, we have to work with cron jobs, and this is all about in our today's session where we have talked about cron facility. Thank you very much, guys, for today. Let's meet up tomorrow, and if there is any questions, any doubts, you can ask me before I can wind up the session. Let's stop here and let's meet up tomorrow. Thank you very much.